So it looks like I'm most likely going to be streaming live onto YouTube shortly. And let me make sure once that is in effect, I want to make sure I cut the sound down there. So yeah, it looks like we're on YouTube there. And so I had something very specific that I really wanted to talk about. You know, I thought to myself, it's been a lot of, how can I put this? And I don't know how to broach the subject because I talked about the Pluto transformation and I thought, okay, a lot of what I'm going through is because of Pluto. But then I thought, wait a minute, what if it's because the South Node is on Saturn? And I'm going to upload my Saturday Night Live where I talked about that a great deal in my show tonight. But the thing that's getting me is that it's not just me. I thought, okay, this is a Adrienne problem, a Capricorntigress problem. But no. There just seems to be a general, I don't know if it's a disconnect. I don't know if it's because of the critical thinking of Virgo that things have been the way they have been over the last few days or last few weeks. I've been on Facebook today, and I swear today was probably the least amount of people I've interacted with on Facebook in 9 years. Now, is that because of me? The South Node is on my sun. And so is Saturn. And so in some way, I'm assuming I might be repelling, but I don't know in what way or if I am. But I know that a lot of times when the South Node, wherever it goes, it usually is a little bit of repelling going there because, well, it's, it'd been there, done that. It's where it seems old hat or it's been done before. It's, almost like it's redundant. So I'm wondering if that's part of it or if it's just literally people are, I don't know where they are. My daughter was going through almost like what I would consider to be an existential crisis, complete with tears, because I think a lot of, especially the younger, like millennials, very, very concerned that they're saying that, the world could end in 30 years, and some are saying as soon as 10. And it's hard to be productive and to continue on and think about your future and the future of, what you would normally think, my children and my children's children and that kind of thing. And suddenly there's this heaviness, Saturn, heaviness. That's exactly what it is. There's this heaviness that is weighing upon a lot of people. And I'm trying to remember if America was either a Cancer or had Cancer rising. I just remember something about Cancer in America. So I don't know if, the Pluto and Saturn and Capricorn has been harsh. It's been hard on a lot of people. And I just wonder how much it's trickling down into just the demographic, just our country in general, the general population. I just don't feel the exuberance that I once felt. Now, I always thought it was me. I did. I'm like, it's me. I'm not feeling the exuberance because, well, what happened with my marriage and whatnot. But I just by chance, you guys, I wasn't stalking. Believe me, I wasn't. Just by chance, I went to one of my Facebook pages, and there had been an old post that my husband had made to me, and it was like, "I love you forever" or something like that. And I had to look a couple of times at the photo because the photo looked to be of a caveman, maybe, or a medieval man with a knife in his hand, or it looked like my ex's or my husband's face, but it was like it was so dark and so sad and so desperate and so scary. And I thought, is that the place where he's at? It pains me to think that so many people are in such a dark place. How do you help people to get out of that dark place? And I realize, it's not my place. I can help to give people the blueprint that astrology provides. I can even do a 3-card reading and maybe see what the divine spirit has to say. But the reality is, to climb out of a dark hole, only you can do the climbing, the person who's in the dark hole. And it's sad to think there's so many people stuck in these dark holes, even if they're mental dark holes or emotional dark holes. It's sad because you think, how do you help one come out of that? I think it's even sadder when I think that the love that I possessed for that man was not enough to keep him from going into that. And to be honest, I have a feeling it has something to do with something that's not even to do with me, but it's sad. So anyway, I just thought I would mention this phenomena, the heaviness. I'm going to say it's the heaviness of Saturn conjunct the South Node. And, keep your eye open, see how, things are happening in the world. Let's hope that we don't have more destruction, mayhem, and murder. I think for a lot of people, when they feel that sense of darkness or hopelessness, or that they're in this dark hole, well, I have a feeling it's why they go out and they shoot up the place or whatever, because they're in the dark hole, and I think they want to get other people in the hole with them, or because they can't seem to climb out on their own. It's a really sad situation. And I think the most important thing is to realize that, well, we are so much in control of how we feel on the inside. Like, even if we were literally in a dark hole, how one reacts inside of that dark hole is up to the person. And that is a crazy thought, but I never even thought about that. Like, you think about people who survive like prison camps for years and stuff, and some people can't even last a week. But then there have been people who have lasted like 6, 7 years, 10 years. Remember that one POW guy from Vietnam that lived forever? Like, amazing. So you don't know what you're capable of doing in that dark space until you try. But wow, I just hope to see a raise in the vibration, in the frequency that I've been feeling, because that's what I'm talking about. When you come across someone who's in such a dark, heavy frequency and a dark vibration, it's sad, because I keep feeling like my vibration wants to go higher and higher, and I want to get brighter and grow. And I almost feel like my desire to go forward and be positive is somewhat repelling to some people. Like, how dare she be happy? How dare she be light? Why isn't she bitching and moaning about, life about like everybody else? And I choose not to do that. I choose to focus on, what can be done, whatever positive we can glean out of whatever we can. Because I feel like once we stop believing that something good is possible, then nothing good will be possible. And so staying positive is everything. And I believe that. I believe the more we stay positive, the better it's going to be. I don't know why. I just believe that. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about this one thought I had, and then I'm going to go. And I had told this to my daughter. And we had this conversation because it's such a heavy conversation about the darkness of the world and the heaviness and racism and equality. And there's so much you can go into. And, you know, the global warming and the world is dying and the clams and the fishes are floating up onto the, you know, all of this stuff is happening. And Bermuda's gone pretty much. And it's just like, and so, wow, I got lost in it myself. Okay, I remember. So I was thinking about, like, you know, there's so many universes and there's so many galaxies. And a lot of us don't like to think of it like in an abstract way, as though we're just like the, well, I'm going to give you an example. Hold on. Abstract thought. Okay, abstract thought. Oh, well, this is a really good example because this is going bad. So imagine this orange right here, okay? And this orange, maybe this orange is Earth. Maybe, right? I mean, each little pit in here could be Earth, but let's just say this is Earth. Well, all these little things in here, well, these could be like people, countries, oceans, lakes, all these little pits, all these, this, right? This is a living, there's things living here. I know we don't want to think of it that minute, but there's probably a life, like a world like we have inside of this. Am I going too deep? I mean, and then when you start seeing, like, and I always, like, I'm talking about raising the vibration. Well, you know, when things start to lose their pot, you know, when they're on the vine and they're feeding from the source, they're healthy, they're growing, but then they fall off the vine and you let them sit, and you know, of course it starts to die and the vibration goes, and then this begins to occur, right? So when I think about raising the vibration, I'm thinking about raising our vibration to stop this, to stay positive, to stay alert, to stay alive, to stay new, to stay fresh. Because when the darkness comes, right? If you succumb to that, if we were all dark, we would start to look like that instead of that. I hope I'm making sense. I'll say one other thing. I did an interview earlier today, and she had asked me about something to do with our vibration and things like that. And I realized that, wow, I really go out of my way to stay in a positive vibration. And maybe it's because I was born with Saturn in the first house. And by the way, if you were born with Saturn in the first house, I would definitely recommend you do things to raise your vibration too. But Saturn is on my sun now, and you know, it's harsh. So staying in a positive vibration is not easy. But I realized some years ago that when I dance, and I don't know how many of you are into Abraham-Hicks, but I'm deeply into Abraham-Hicks. But when I dance, I can go instantly into the vortex. And if you're a follower of Abraham-Hicks, you'll know that when you go into the vortex, well, that's where all the magic is happening. So you really want to be there in this vortex, in this hype spot, because then you're bringing more things back to you in that higher vibration, right? So that was my secret to getting in the higher vibration. When I found myself going lower, if things get heavy, I just get up, I walk in my bedroom and I keep the music going, and I'll just get in there and start dancing, come back out, I'm back in the high vibration again. So find out, you know, if you found yourself getting caught up in the lower vibration that seems to be permeating a lot right now. You know, find what gets you into the vortex and do that thing. It could be walking, it could be biking, it could be, I don't know. It's up. Each person is different. But yeah, find what takes you to that higher plane, that place that just brings up your vibration and it feels good. You feel good on the inside. And then that'll begin to exude on the outside. And then we can stop the decay. Okay. Well, this has been Adrienne Obi, Capricorn-Tigress of astrologyalookinside.com. I invite you all to come and visit us at astrologyalookinside.com, and I'll put all the ways that you can find us and order from us down below. Much love and light to all. Blessings.